Let me talk to you real quick about emotion-led obedience. Because most of you out here obeying feelings like they are God, but your feelings are lying to you. Even right now, while you are watching, they're telling you panic is prophecy. They're telling you pain is direction. They're telling you pressure is proof. You have to move. Feelings are not facts. Feelings ain't God. But if you keep bowing to them, you'll never build anything with your life that lasts. In fact, that's why your relationships collapse. That's why your goals stall. That's why your spirit feels restless. You've been moving on vibes, not vision. And so now emotional-led obedience is spiritual mutiny in disguise. I'm all the way tired of it. So it's time we end the coop, because when your feelings lead, your spirit ends your life. Get overthrown. So let me paint this for you and let's get relatable. I used to think the loudest voice was the truest one. And of course, the loudest voice is always in here, and we ignore what's in here. So we think the voice of panic, the pain, the pressure means I gotta move. So now I was making decisions from grief, signing life contracts from fear, cutting people all the way off from my wounds, calling it boundaries. I was checking out of jobs on a Friday night just because the pressure felt unbearable. Check this out. I started blaming God for doors I was closing myself. That's what feelings would do to you, right? But I wasn't obeying God, clearly. I was obeying my nervous system. I was obeying unprocessed memory. And every time I thought I was following peace, I was really just chasing relief. So now emotion-led obedience is what happens when the body becomes the prophet, the heart becomes the map, and now the spirit gets evicted. Think about that, because it's time we get surgical and break this down with system precision, right? Emotions, we all got them. You can't ignore them, but they are alerts, not authors. Your feelings are data, not destiny. So you see, most people's gut instincts are really just trauma patterns with urgency issues. So emotion-led obedience is looping memory. It's the subconscious hijacking the soul. So if you obey emotion without auditing it, you co-sign a future written by your past. That's why your life feels the same over and over again. So no, you are not broken. You're just misreading the data. Because obedience isn't about what feels right. It's about what remembers right. And that's why do you starts with disrupt. Because if you don't disrupt emotional reflexes, you'll continue to mistake urgency for prophecy. So let's run it. Here's the override. Here's the cycle. 5 moves, 1 identity. Let's do you together. We start with disrupt. You want to disrupt the pattern. Pause the spike. Catch the urgency before it commands you. Think of it like this. The next time you feel pushed to text at 2 a.m., quit your job mid-shift and leave yourself without bread, or buy something you can't afford out of panic to fit in, count to 10 and breathe. Before you touch the button, you got to disrupt the pattern. Then you want to own the imprint. Ask yourself this. What memory is this emotion tied to? Who taught me fear was my instruction? Was it mama's silence daddy's anger, maybe my last heartbreak. Whatever it is, once you own the root, you can stop letting it masquerade as revelation. Then you want to yield, and we yield to remembrance, yield to covenant, not vibes, stillness before strategy, spirit over spike. Remembrance is greater than reaction, especially when it comes to your feelings. Now you want to observe, and observe without absorbing. Watch the wave without riding it. Like when the waves hit the shore, just let them crash without dragging you out to sea. Emotions can pass through you without pulling you under. Then we unleash, and we always unleash unapologetic movement. Move from vision, not vibration. Action authored by God doesn't expire when the feeling fades. Build what lasts, not what soothes. That's how you do you and start to conquer your feelings. Now, since I still got you, let's bring this home with a prayer. My God, the infinite, may you never confuse urgency with prophecy again. May you find the patience to pause before performance. And may your obedience be authored by spirit, not sponsored by fear. You were not built to be emotionally impulsive. You were called to be spiritually immovable. So die to emotional obedience, resurrect with vision, because you own it or be owned by it. You either run the system. System runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.